and I call it sleeping with anxiety for 365 days. On some days, my anxiety gently crawls into my bed and whispers a good morning. It's a warning bell for my fragile feet, which are still not ready to get up. They're bargaining with the floor. But then I have days when this anxiety, it's no longer tricked into sleeping under the bed or hiding beneath the sheets. It keeps climbing till it's one with the voices in my head. On some days, I chase the spotlight, perfect my pauses, stick notes on my fingernails, rehearse my lines. But on other days, just a little flickering light bulb in my room can be an unfriendly reminder of exactly one sad face in the audience 2 years ago. This anxiety, it's the periphery to every thought, the messy margin notes of every notebook. It's that lover I've bitched about to all my girlfriends. And I swear I am so convinced that I deserve so much better each time, only to fall back into the arms of for the seventh time in the day. It's my only familiar suffering. This anxiety, it's like my middle-aged neighbor. That man is very unpredictable, by the way, and he may fall asleep in the middle of a coffee date, or you could see him waking up with the sun on a Sunday. But then, this anxiety, it's also that TV remote that I've carefully hid from my sister a million times. And in my head, it's like a foolproof affair. But then, right then, when I think it's perfectly concealed, that anxiety can be found right under the pillow covers, in that very moment when I was trying to conceal it better than before. This anxiety, it makes mental notes of all auto suggestions: stand straight, walk properly, talk politely, make your bed, have a water, but in incomprehensible codes. So it can continue trying to worry over trying to understand something it created on its own. My anxiety, it's that quick rainbow glance, which is scolding me for not arriving on time to dance in the rain, but warning me to keep standing in that same place, waiting for the next arrival. This anxiety, it's the place I sit at, holding the globe in my hands, wanting to go places. It's that place I go to, wishing for nothing but to get back home. My anxiety, it's that light my eyes will never be ready for. It's that hiding place I need to hide from. A lot of times I wonder where it comes from. And I have no idea, because sometimes I think maybe it just comes from being technicolor in a world that is black and white. Or maybe it comes from being unable to reach on time. Maybe it comes from being unable to speak in points. Or maybe all of this just happens because my mother, she always spoke to me in concentric circles, teaching me that no matter how far I wander off, I could always come back to her loving arms. But my anxiety does not rest in massage parlors or in my lover's arms. It keeps crawling from his wrists to his receding hairline when he's tired of how my heart beats itself against his chest each time he grabs my breast. I think he thinks I am too much. I think he thinks I'll never be enough. I think this poem is too long, and I cannot talk my anxiety out of things I have been talking everyone else out of. I still think this poem is too long, and I think I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. My lover does not understand. He leaves. Anxiety doesn't. This is supposed to be the poem, but then